Hello sailors, and welcome back to Grimsby, where Rob, Yewy and myself are ready to depart on our longest voyage yet. Hop on board and keep us company as we join the 100 Nautical Mile Club. We're off. It is half midnight, so I'll probably go and put our first entry in the logbook in a second. But it is so dark.
Yeah, I've already been told off by the VDS. We were on the wrong channel, unfortunately, and there was a vessel being tugged right in front of us. It looked like a great big house or something. It's crazy.
I thought it was the VTS building. I was like, we can't be there already.
So disorientating, but we'll get our bearings now, I think.
It really is. It is 3 AM now. We had a lovely cup of tea. Yewy's a bit cold, so she's on my lap. She's got a jumper on and she's got a blanket on, and then when I'm cuddling her, she gets my body heat, so she warms up nice and toasty then.
Wow, getting out of Grimsby dock there and just seeing the blackness of the Humber was so disorientating. It really was. I think we're kind of used to it now after 3 hours. There's a lot less going on. There was so many vessels coming in and out. The VTS was more like air traffic control than a VTS. It was insane, and vessels are coming up at 25 knots, 30 knots. Before you know it, they're on you. I don't think I liked the last 3 hours. I don't think I enjoyed the last 3 hours. But the last 3 hours have been done, and that was the most important thing. Well, 4 hours in, and it's 4 AM. That's an easy calculation, isn't it? Sun comes up at 4:48. Well, behind the clouds anyway. But it means it'll get light, so I can stop worrying about whether or not we're going to hit a lobster pot or a crab pot or something. Which is my main concern sailing in the coast at night, is the pots. But I think this is quite a well-used kind of shipping lane. We stayed in the shipping lanes as long as we could, on the basis that there shouldn't be any pots in them. And yeah, there's loads of boats still coming in and out, so I think, you know, there's not many pots in this neck of the woods, which is good. We've got a sail up. It was too dark to try and put the mainsail up with just the two of us, and too rolly as well. But we've stuck the Genoa out anyway, and it gives us an extra 1.2 knots. So looking forward to getting a bit lighter, and then we'll get the mainsail up, and I think we'll be able to sail. I estimate we'll be able to do about 6 knots, which will take sailing point. Close hold. Head to wind.
And a little snoozy bear. Cup of tea number 2 is on the go. Rob is very happy that we've replenished our Yorkshire tea supplies, because we were on Aldi tea, which he was not happy about. But I never told you what Yorkshire tea said, so I emailed them, like when we were back in North Shields, saying, how many tea bags do you think we need to pack? And have a guess. You can pause this, you can put your guess in the comments and then come back. How many tea bags they calculated for the two of us to go sailing for about 5 years? Alright, have you put your answer? They calculated 14,000! 14,000 tea bags we need to pack. We haven't got space for that on board. We've currently got, how many? How many have we got at the minute?
Got 420. Well, less. Well, about 400, because we got them yesterday. I think we've had 20 cups.
So we're about 400 on board. So we'll be stocking up before we leave the south coast, I think. But also, they said they were going to send us some tea, and they didn't send us some tea. Plot twist, the promised Yorkshire tea did arrive, only we'd already moved out.
Now, how do we get this tea to reach out?
So unfortunately we only getting 3.5 to 4 knots under sail, which is alright if you were just doing 20 mile or something like that, but when you're doing 102, that's a 25-hour passage, which is not unacceptable, because we would arrive at 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is no bueno. So we want to average between 5 and 6. So unfortunately we're still motor sailing and we're still head to wind.
And it occurs to me we haven't actually said where we're going yet, I don't think. So plan A was to go to Wells.
We do know where we're going.
We do know, yeah, we hope. So plan A was to go to Wells, which looked so pretty. We really wanted to go in there. And we had a neap tide. Now, normally, if you're not into sailing, if you're into sailing, you already know this. If you're not, you might not. But when you have a neap tide, the high tide is lower and the low tide is higher, so you get like a very gentle amount of water. It's not a huge tide compared to springs where you have very low lows and very high highs, so the tide's more like this. So on neaps you can normally get into the more shallower harbours, but not Wells. Wells is different. So yeah, we were all set to go there, and we rang the harbour master. Harbour master was like, no, not gonna happen. Not until at least next Monday. So like, okay, plan B. So plan B was to go to the Royal Norfolk and Suffolk Yacht Club.
Knobs and Snobs! Everyone calls them the Knobs and Snobs.
That's what it's known as.
Do you think they call themselves that as well?
They might not know.
They must know. It's on all the forums, everything.
We didn't call them that.
No.
Everyone else, yeah. But that was where we wanted to go next, and apparently it's got a really nice clubhouse, and it's just on sort of the coast of Lowestoft, so you don't have to go up the river. But we rang them and they were like, no, we've got like a whole flotilla coming in, so it's booked up until I think they said like after Monday again. So if we wanted to get a wiggle on, we had to choose plan C. So plan C was to go further into Lowestoft, so we've got a swing bridge to get through, which only opens at certain times, and we've got a choice of the cruising club or Beacon Marina. I think we're going to go to Beacon Marina because they've got a hammerhead free for us, so that would be nice.
And there's a pub right next to it.
There is a pub, but I don't think Yewy's allowed in.
We'll pretend we're blind.
Anyway, that's the plan, and the bridge should raise at either 7 PM, 9 PM or midnight. We don't want to get midnight. We don't really want to get the 9 PM, so we're hoping we can get a good push once the wind fills in later on, and we can average, if we can average 6, I think we can make the 7 o'clock, so we'll see what happens.
So that was the story of how we ended up on this 102-mile voyage. Wells would have been 57 nautical miles, so still a reasonably long day sail. But yeah, Lowestoft, only other place we could go really, and 102 miles is a really long day sail. In fact, it's a night sail and a day sail added together really, and it does cut your options down, like I was saying before, in terms of how you get there. Oh well, we've got Yewy mainly, and you know, she doesn't like these long sails at the best of times. Never mind, you know, not. You go multiple days without getting back to terra firma, so she can do her tinkles. So yeah, that's just what we've had to accept, you know, for our sailing.
Look who's awake and having bacon for breakfast. Good girl. 7 AM now. We've had bacon sarnies for breakfast, and Yewy's been up to the bow to have her wee, so now it's time for her breakfast. And she's having liver and cheese. Oh, Yewy loves cheese, and she loves liver. 9 AM update. The wind totally dropped off and was just making the sails flap all over the shop, so we put them away. And then basically the wind's kind of done a 180 and it's now coming from the north, so we've stuck the Genoa back out again. It's still really light, but apparently we're getting an extra 0.3.
An extra 0.3.
Excellent. Just like that, the Genoa's going away again.
Sit rep, 13 hours and 10 minutes in. We've done 72 miles and we have 30 miles to go. It's been a long night and a long morning.
And you're a bit bored.
Yeah, there's nothing happening. There's literally nothing happening. There's no birds.
No seals, no dolphins.
There's not that many fishing pots. It's grey.
There's not really any sailing.
I don't know if you can tell, but there's been a swell running since we set off, isn't it? We've been rocking and a rolling. I'm going to be falling off the pontoon tonight, I think. I got no sleep last night before we set off. We did try, but I was really nervous before we set off. And I think once we got into the Humber and it was just black, I thought, oh, shit. And yeah, it was tense, wasn't it? There was so much going on. It was like Heathrow bloody airport, wasn't it? I got told off by the VTS within 10 seconds of leaving the quay. Oh, but anyway, here we are, and nothing's happening. 15 hours and 40 minutes in. We've passed Cromer Lighthouse and now we're coming down Scorby Sands. Scorby Sands wind farm is in the background, and I just spotted a burnt out turbine, a burnt out wind turbine. The whole nacelle at the top burnt out. One of the blades is burned as well. They've had what the industry would call a thermal event. What we would call a fire. Never good. Hopefully no one was hurt. But anyway, we are within 2 hours of getting to Lowestoft. We've got we're passing Great Yarmouth and we're taking a narrow channel. Don't trust Navionics. Navionics will try and take you mathematically the most efficient route dependent on draft and so on, but it'll try and take you into some weird places that you just shouldn't go. And if you do zoom in on the maps, you know, there are notes that say things like you know, the sands shift quite a lot, and there was a chart datum of 12 meters. It was supposed to be 12 meters of water there, and recently it was 0.3 meters dried out. So that's the kind of range you're talking about. Why the hell you would go down that little channel to save 5 minutes rather than come down the main shipping channel, I've no idea, because we're not. So yeah, 2 hours to go to Lowestoft. Unfortunately, it means that we'll probably have to wait about an hour and a half for the bridge to come out, but I can think of something to do.
Reach out, standing by.
We are standing by. That's the biggest dredger I've ever seen.
We're orca dodging.
We are, well, no, I'm not really dodging it. I'm just staying out of its way.
Because we need to go in there. That's where the waiting pontoon is.
Okay, I've seen his front.
We made the bridge! Happy days!
Former employees of my company on their workboats. Tut tut tut.
Yewy's got a pretty purple dress on. It was a little jumper and then it got put in the wash and now it's a lovely long dress. Are you a good girl? You are a very good girl. You deserve all the treats in the world tonight.
Oh God,
It's 1.4 miles.
after you've just done 100 miles!
Yeah, we're in the 100 Mile Club. Yes! Hound dog versus sleeping boat dog.
So Faye, today was the longest sail ever. How do you feel?
It's the longest sail ever for us.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
I feel very, very tired.
And how?
I'm on a kind of like high bar stool and I feel like I'm about to fall off it at any moment.
Right, and have you earned this?
I have earned this.
I think you have.
This makes a nice change from fish and chips.
What?
Seafood linguine.
DIVORCE. We'll have none of that blasphemy, thank you very much. I'll put you back to sea.
It looks fantastic.
It does, it looks very nice. Enjoy. Well, I think the phrase is, I slept like a baby, but I don't think there are many babies that slept as well as that. It was more like being unconscious for 8 hours, but blimey, feeling a lot better today at this time than I did yesterday. So nice to get the rest. And yeah, I'm super proud this morning. I really feel pleased. I'm so proud of Faye, of little Yewy, for doing that journey. No one complained. Everyone got on with it. God, it was a grind. It was a grind, a marathon. But we've made really good miles, you know. And now being in Lowestoft, we're just 2 sails away from getting to our departure point to France. So really nice to make those miles up yesterday. So yeah, just going to take Yewy out on a bit of a walk, see where we get to. It's not often you get to see one of these boats on the hard. Great vessels, they're so impressive. And look at these engines. I was like, where's the propellers? And I think they're actually jets. They look like jet engines. Almost like fire water out of them or something. Amazing. Yeah. I'd love to get a look inside of one of them. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, you can get a look inside of one of them if you're getting rescued. So maybe I don't want to look inside of one of them. Maybe I don't want to look inside of one of them on like an open day or something. I think that's better.
We've brought Yewy to this nice field for a bit of a game of fetch because, well, 2 reasons. One, she deserves it after being on the boat so much yesterday, and fetch is just her favourite thing in the world. But 2, my uncle and his wife and their dog are coming over later. They were in the area, so we thought we should meet up. But they've got a terrier, a female terrier, and Yewy doesn't play that well with others, so we're trying to tire her out and just take a bit of the crazy off before they meet.
Oh, hang on, sit. Good girl. Freedom.
Straight for a smell.
Straight for a smell, because she doesn't appreciate at the moment. We have
The round things.
What's this? This is the most precious thing in the entire world. In the world. You want to play? You want to play?
Cue some very cute footage of Captain Yewy enjoying herself. Yes, she's adorable, but she's also a menace, and as predicted, she wasn't exactly welcoming to our guests. But despite that, she has an important message for you all. You tell him, Captain. Until next time, sailors, fair winds.